Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. It's your boy Phil. So today, this is part 3 of my tour of the USS Intrepid, and we are going to visit the command center of the ship, the island, the superstructure, also known as the bridge. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start the video. Hope you are having a great day, everyone. This is part 3 of my trip at the USS Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum. For this part, we are going to visit the bridge or the command center of the ship. As you remember, in part 1, we visited the USS Growler, and in part 2, we visited the flight deck where most of the flight operations occur and where most of the planes are parked. And enough about that, so for now, we are going to visit the nervous system of the ship, the command center, called the island, the superstructure, or more commonly known as the bridge. As you can see in this modern United States Marine Corps carrier, the carrier is essentially flat all the way to accommodate aircraft such as helicopters and airplanes, and you will see the superstructure, the island, or more commonly known as the bridge, and this is the tallest structure in the surface of the carrier flight deck. The bridge is where the commanding officers bark out commands during combat, during navigation, and all flight operations of the ship, the aircraft, and the crew. The bridge of the USS Intrepid is about 3 stories high, and you need to take some stairs to get to the top. So now let's take a look inside. The signs will pretty much give you the direction of where to go to reach the bridge, and I think we climbed 2 flights of stairs before we got to the pilot room. The ship itself is full of equipment, wires, gauges, monitors, and it smells like metal and diesel, which is actually kind of cool, and you know that you are really in a ship. The first room we visited is the navigation and radar room. This is where the ship determines its own location as well as the location of other ships and the direction of where it's going. The captain's sea cabin is where the commanding officer resides, sleeps, and does some desk work. And what's next to the captain's sea cabin is the actual pilot house. This is where the ship is steered and where orders are given for the speed and the direction of the ship. And the other reason why it is so close to the captain's sea cabin is because if the officers or crew encounter any problems or experience any problem with the ship, the captain can be summoned to the bridge or pilot house at a moment's notice. So just imagine if you are steering this massive ship through the sea. And as per the staff, the steering is very light despite sailing a very large ship through the ocean.
Meaning from up here, you can see just how good the visibility is.
So if those are enemies, like they will report everything, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, and usually that was just like mainly like the visual was backup because even the radars on board the ship could detect ships upwards of 60 to 70 miles
70
away.
miles, got it.
So yeah, so
wow.
usually
70 miles?
Oh yeah, and the air radars, like the radars on planes, those could find aircraft upwards of 2 to 250 miles away. Now, an approaching plane or an approaching ship would be identified on radar first, and then they would tell the lookouts, oh, there's a ship approaching on the starboard side from this angle or this degree. And then the lookouts would know, all right, I can focus on this direction, and then they would actually see what the ship was.
Oh, the Hawkeye, right? The Hawkeye.
Oh,
Hawkeye
so those planes, they actually can even help extend that range because a Hawkeye or like Intrepid didn't carry Hawkeyes, but they did carry radar planes, what are called tracers. See that plane with the big
I thought that was a Hawkeye.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes are like the modern iteration of those planes. But yeah, they also had a radar range of about 250 miles.
Nice.
So that meant that if the ship's radar could see 250 miles, one of those planes flies out 250 miles from the carrier, now they can see 500 miles away. Because yeah, early warning is very important. You always want to have that advanced knowledge and know what threats are coming into the ship.
Oh, it's a lot of responsibility for the captain.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to be the captain of an aircraft carrier, you're really almost like the mayor of a small city.
5,000 people.
Yeah. Intrepid was a little bit smaller.
Smaller.
About 3,000 people on board.
But I'm kind
yeah.
of surprised that it has like the angled flight deck, because I thought World War II carriers are primarily straight up.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right there, but Intrepid was actually modernized in the 1950s, and they installed that angled flight deck on board.
So it was straight before, and then it became angled.
It was.
Wow, that's a good high chair for the captain.
Oh, absolutely. You get the
Jesus.
beautiful visibility.
Nice.
And what's really unique is that in the U.S. Navy, in order to be the captain of an aircraft carrier, you actually have to be a naval aviator. Let's say if you're the captain of an aircraft carrier, probably like, 40, maybe early 50s. 20 years before you were sitting here, you'd be sitting in one of those planes on the flight deck.
Oh,
and
you gotta be a naval aviator?
Exactly.
Whoa.
And the U.S. Navy did that because, or they issued that rule because they realized that if the captain of the carrier was also an aviator, he knew, how to best take care of the pilots, the best strategies and tactics to use.
Compared to the view from the flight deck, the view from the bridge is definitely better and would offer more visibility with the aircraft, the ship, and the sea. And usually, if the ship is a flagship or the lead ship in its class, this ship will house the Admiral's sea cabin or the highest commanding officer for the entire fleet. And the room beside it is the flag plot or the Admiral's tactical and navigational control room aboard a flagship. So after visiting the flag plot and the Admiral's sea cabin, it's time to go to the main hangar, which will be in part 4 of our video. So join me next time in part 4 of this video. Thank you for watching this video, and I really do hope that you enjoy it, and thank you for your continued support. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. See you later in the next video, guys. Take care.